Welcome. In the last lecture, after an extended derivation starting from the Gibbs-Duhem equation, which is a fundamental equation, we arrived at the fact that summation over xi d ln gamma I, which can of course be written as summation over ni d ln gamma I. Xi is nothing but ni divided by the sum over all mole numbers ni, and therefore if you multiply both sides of this equation by sum over all ni, this one would become sum over ni d ln gamma I equals 0. This is what we had started out to show. We will call this equation 430. Now let us take this further. We did this for a purpose, and if you remember we started looking at excess quantities. Again, to recall, excess quantities are defined the same way and play similar roles as the residual properties for pure substances. And okay, let us go forward from equation 429. Let us go back to equation 429 to refresh our memories. It has been a couple of classes before which we saw this. So let us go back to equation 429. Yes, that was slide number 48 if I remember right. Yes, that it was. This was the equation 429, and if you remember this is dGTE equals RT times sum over ni d ln gamma I times ln gamma I dni, and we went through an extended derivation to show that this term is actually 0, and therefore dGTE equals RT sum over ln gamma I dni, and if you transpose this equation, dGTE by RT becomes equal to ln gamma I dni, and that is the next thing that we are going to consider. I think that was in yes. So dGTE by RT equals sum over ln gamma I dni. Now this is where we are getting to the overall goal of this particular subsection, which is to find means of estimating gamma i's, the activity coefficients. So this in other words means that if you take the partial derivative of the left hand side with respect to a particular ni with all other n's remaining constant and at constant t and p of course that was brought from before, this will be equal to ln of gamma I. It is easy to see, this is ln gamma 1 dn1 plus ln gamma 2 dn2 and so on and so forth. Suppose we take this with respect to dn2, dou GTE by RT dou n2 at Tp and all other n's remaining constant, all other terms will drop out except the ln gamma 2 term. So that is what this one gives us, and this is equation 431. Therefore this is what we were kind of getting at. If GTE is known as a function of the composition, then GTE by RT is known as a function of composition, then one can use this relationship between GTE and gamma I to get an estimate of gamma I. Now equation 431 can be used to obtain the activity coefficients. So this gives us one means of estimating the activity coefficients of a component I in a particular solution. The remaining part of our module is going to be limited to binary systems, because there is so much of work that is available in binary systems, and probably that is good enough for an undergraduate level of understanding, and therefore let us look at means of estimating activity coefficients in binary systems, and the basis for this is going to be the previous statement that we made. If GTE is known as a function of composition, then this equation 431 dou GTE by RT dou Ni at constant Tp Nj equals ln gamma I can be used to obtain the activity coefficients gamma I. Essentially, we will be looking at models for binary systems of GTE or GE as a function of the composition x1, x2, x1 and x2. In this case, it is a binary system. So, let us look at some of the models that are available in the literature and somewhat commonly used. The first model that we are going to look at is called the Margulet model, and that model is given as GE by RT. This is given in molar terms, not GTE. GE by RT equals A21 times x1 plus A12 times x2 the whole times x1 x2. Let us call this equation 432, and A21 and A12 are the constants for a particular given system. For a particular solution, you have particular values of A21 and A12, and therefore, if you know these constants, then you could estimate GE by RT, or this is one of the models that would give us GE by RT. This we have already mentioned that the model is written in terms of molar quantities GE and not GTE. You need to note this because this will come in handy in terms of certain derivations and so on, one of which is coming up very soon. Now, since the mole fraction is the definition of mole fraction is nothing but the number of moles divided by the total number of moles. Therefore, x1 is n1 by n and x2 equals n2 by n. We can write this equation 432, which we had seen here, in terms of n's. GTE by RT equals A21 n1 by n1 plus n2. We just have to replace x1 wherever x1 occurs by n1 by n and wherever x2 occurs by n2 by n. In fact, why don't I give you about 5 minutes to just do this algebra and convince yourself that this is indeed the expression that you get when you substitute. Okay, the complete expression is given here, equation 433. Take about 5 minutes, essentially substitute x1 equals n1 by n and x2 equals n2 by n in the previous equation, the Margulet model, and come up with this, please. 5 minutes. Okay. You would have substituted and reduced the terms, combine the terms to get GTE by RT equals A21 N1 by N1 plus N2 plus A12 N2 by N1 plus N2 into N1 N2 by N1 plus N2 the whole squared, equation 433. This is the same Margulis model written in terms of N1 and N2. And now using this equation 431 that we wrote down earlier, which is dou ni of GTE by RT at constant Tp and all other ni's remaining constant, that equals ln of gamma I. Using this, what I would like you to come up with using this expression is an expression for gamma 1 and gamma 2 for this particular system. Okay. Let me start you out a little bit. The steps are very straightforward. You need to differentiate this expression, dou GTE by RT dou Ni, that is what you that is on the left hand side. You need to differentiate partially with respect to, let us say, N1 in this case at constant Tp and N2, and you will have to do recombinations, they may be significant, of the terms with the recognition that the sum of the mole fractions in this system, sum of the mole fractions in any system equals 1. This is a binary system, therefore x1 plus x2 equals 1. Okay. Make use of these two hints and please come up with an expression for ln gamma 1 first through the differentiation with respect to N1 and also ln gamma 2. I am going to give you about 20 minutes to do this and come up with the expressions. Go ahead please. By now you may be comfortable with the math, and probably the algebra will take some time, that is okay, and hopefully you would have obtained by doing the differentiation with respect to n1 and the fact and recombining significantly with the recognition that x1 plus x2 equals 1, you would get ln gamma 1, please check whether you got this, equals x2 squared times a12 plus 2 times a2 minus a21 minus a12 times x1. Okay, this is how we can get an estimate of gamma 1 if we know a12 and a21 as a function of the mole fractions x1 and x2. Let us call this equation 434, and you would have, by following a similar procedure, but differentiation with respect to n2 and similar recombinations, you would get ln gamma 2 equals x1 squared a21 plus twice a12 minus a21 times x2, and let us call this equation 435. Therefore, we have obtained a means of finding out gamma 1 and gamma 2 using the Margulet model. It is one of the early models which helps us find the activity coefficients here. There are many such models, and some models work well for certain systems, some models work well for the other systems. That is the reason for having so many different models, and some models have better basis in theory than the other models, and so on. We will see about 3 or 4 such models in this particular module. Before we do that, it is nice to do some small analysis here. You know, the model for gamma 1 and gamma 2, this suggests that at the limiting conditions of infinite dilution. What does infinite dilution mean? It means that one of the components has gone to 0 and the other component is what is there completely. If x1 has gone to 0, if you substitute x1 equals 0 here, x2 is 1, right, and therefore ln gamma 1 is nothing but the constant a12. Therefore, when x1 tends to 0 or x2 tends to 1, that is the same and one and the same thing, then ln of gamma 1 infinity, this is infinite dilution when the mole fraction of one of the components has gone to 1, and of course by consequence the other mole fraction has gone to 0. This is a12, and similarly in the flip case that x2 goes to 0 or x1 tends to 1, then if you substitute that here, you can get that ln gamma 2 at infinite dilution conditions equals a21. These are limiting conditions that we can use to check and get some quick estimates from. Okay. Now, let us look at another model that can be used to estimate activity coefficients, and that is called the Redlich-Kester model. Redlich-Kester model, essentially all these models are expressions of GE by RT. The basis is equation 431, where you have this expression and you know this as a function of composition, then you can find the activity coefficients by the partial derivative, by taking the partial derivative. So here it is a very simple model. GE by RT is given as equal to B some constant times x1 times x2. We will call this equation 436. What I would like you to do is go through the same exercise that we did for the Margulet model and come up with expressions for activity coefficients using this particular model. To recall, you write this in terms of n1, n2 if need be, then you differentiate one with respect to the first with respect to n1 to get gamma 1, an estimate for that or an expression for that, and differentiate with respect to n2 to get an estimate of gamma 2. Why don't you go ahead, take about 10 minutes Yeah, this is a simple enough model, we have seen this earlier. Okay, maybe there are quite a few steps. So take about 15 minutes to do this, and then I will tell you what equations you would get if you do that procedure. Go ahead please, 15 minutes. Okay, I think you need to take that as homework, and when you come back in the next class, we are out of time here. When we come back in the next class, we will start out with the expressions for gamma 1 and gamma 2 for the Redlich-Kwestor model. See you then.